Shalom. Today's lesson is harmless as a dove deception, right? So even some of our elders, they teach you this verse and teach you about how you're supposed to be harmless, be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. And then, a lot of I can want to make sure they tell you to learn the Greek and make sure you study up on it. But I'm surprised that brothers keep missing this verse. So we're going to get dig right into it. Matthew 10:16. King KJV. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the middle of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Now, harmless is not what that verse actually says. That's not what that word actually says. And you gotta think, even a dove attack its enemies. You know what I'm saying? Anything that has an enemy attack its enemies. So common sense doesn't mean just actually be harmless. That's the deception that they taught you. Right? So the word in that verse that they replaced with harmony actually is the Greek word akarios. Akarios, right? Akarios, right? And akarios just means to be unmixed, pure as in wines or metals, or of the mind without a mixture of evil, free from guile, innocent, simple. So it basically means keep it simple, keep it basic, be pure. Don't be sneaky. So be wise like them, but don't be sneaky and overly complicated like them. So in other words, the proper word for that would actually mean basic. So it means be wise as a serpent and simple as a dove. You know what I'm saying? That would be the proper term. You know what I'm saying? Be wise as a serpent, be smart as them, but keep it simple. Be graceful. Keep it basic. Don't have no ulterior motives. Don't make things complicated. Or explain things in overly complicated ways. Right? It does not tell you to be harmless. Why would you be harmless around a pack of wolves? If you don't defend yourself, you will be eaten. They taught you to be unintelligent. If you are cornered, you should fight or you should run. Do not be foolish. It just isn't wise and expedient to fight every time, right? So it's not smart to just be fighting on everybody and just have a fucking temper problem. But I'm gonna leave you with this. There's a time and place for everything, right? There's a time and place for everything. You go to Ecclesiastes 3, you can understand that. King James, we're gonna read the whole chapter of Ecclesiastes 3, right? To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heavens. A time to be born, so you even got a time. There's a time for a period for you to be born. A time to die. There's a time for you to die. A time to plant. So there's a season when you're supposed to be planting shit, and a time to pluck up that season. So that means there's a season where it's time for you to gather the crops. So the same way that you got the seasons for the natural things in order, you know what I'm saying, we're going to go to verse 6. There's a time to kill. So there's a time we're supposed to kill people. There's a time to heal. There's a time we're supposed to be healing people. A time to break down. There's a time we're supposed to break down. There's time to build up. I'm recording and making my own little video channel. A time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance. So there's a time to have fun. You know what I'm saying? When you're working, it might not be time to have fun. While you're over there, when it's time for you to have fun, it's probably not good to be sitting right there bothering everybody about your job when everybody trying to have fun. Right? There's a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. So there's a time to show people love, right? You're not supposed to love everybody. There's a time you're supposed to show people love, and there's a time when you're supposed to deny niggas. There's a time when you're not supposed to be around them. You know what I'm saying? So that says there's a time to embrace people, and then there's a time when you're not supposed to embrace them. You're supposed to stay away from embracing certain people. Right? A time to get. So that means it's time for you to get some things, and there's time for you to lose. This world is perfectly balanced. It's not unbalanced. Like, this world is actually fair. They try to say it's unfair, but they just fucking up the balance. You had a power to make it unfair, but as a whole, the Most High made everything balanced and fair. People just choose to make this world things unfair. The natural laws of the universe is very fair, how the Most High created. But men, or evil men and women, have the potential to be able to make that unfair and wicked. A time to reign, a time to sow, a time to keep silent so there's time to shut your fucking mouth, and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. So it doesn't mean, where in the Bible say you shouldn't hate shit. There's a time to love and there's a time to hate. There's a time for war, there's a time for peace. What profit have he that worketh in that laboreth wherein he laboreth? Right? So I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, there's a time and place for everything. These niggas lie to you to keep you harmless, like docile, so they can be in control. And for all the brothers that's in those fake pastors that was getting $1 that taught you this and had you, man, those niggas, they your sellouts. Any pastor that taught you this shit, all that lovey-dovey shit, that's one of your biggest enemies. And if he ain't gonna correct himself, that still be your biggest enemies. And I say that when they say lay hands on them, you should probably lay hands on them in a different way. But like I said, man, I'm Tawab Papak. I'm out. Y'all have a nice day.